Good morning, my lovely friends. This is Marta from Drop of Sunshine, and welcome at my studio. Today, I am coming to you with the fourth of my series of the design papers. There is totally 8 of them, so we're basically halfway through. And I thought that I would challenge myself a little bit, because if it's a fourth video, why not try to create 4 cards? Here I have some elements. There is a plenty of the elements leftovers from the previous cards. Obviously I cut a little bit more, but for today's video, what I will try to do is I print those 2 papers, one per each design, and I also cut myself this extras pieces, also one from each design, and there's no more. And I will try to create 4 cards using only those 2 prints, just so I could show you that you don't really need a lot, and by printing those 2 pages you will be able to create few cards. What I'm having here is this pre-scored ready-made card. They are almost 6x6 size. I think it's 5 3/4 actually, a square. This is something I've bought ages ago, and because I'm making my own card bases, then I thought I will just use these ones, because I have to use them at some point, so that will be a great chance for doing that. I cut those panels. They are 8x8, and I'm having some glue, some few extra bits like some cords, strings, and some pearls. I've choose the colors which will be suitable for these papers, and then I'm having some dies, one in the square, one in the circle. Obviously, because we are working on a 6x6 cards, you don't really need those big dice. However, if you invest yourself in a set like that, that will really really work for you for life. Basically, I have mine for I don't know, like 6 years or something, and they are still good. This is one of the most rich dice in my studio, so definitely something worth checking and investing. If you're creating the cards, if you've got those basic shapes, nesting dice in various sizes, then they will really make you a good job. Now, I've decided to cut a few frames, and I will try to arrange my dice the way that I could cut them all at once in one passing, so I'm gonna be saving some time. And initially I put them on the right bottom corner, but then I thought, if I will shift my dice right to the center, then I'm not only gonna have this squares for these 2 cards I will be creating, but I will end up in having this lovely white border for 8x8 cards. So I'm not only gonna be creating 4 cards, but I will end up in having a frame which I can use on another card. And this is a good way to stretch your papers. Always think like, oh, if I will shift the die, I've learned it myself that if I want to cut something from the design paper using the dies, I'm always thinking what would be the best position to place the dice, so then after cutting it, I will end up with the paper which I can still use. And here I am chopping off the corner because I wanted to have this triangle, and I was thinking to do it before I will proceed with putting my die cutting machine on a table, so I'll know exactly, because I was planning to cut the square from the leftover. However, it wasn't enough. As you can see, the paper wasn't big enough to cover it, so I have to think of the different idea, and I'm just shifting the papers up and down, just moving and trying to see how could I use it so it will be working fine. And here you can see it's very quickly I've managed to come up with a different idea. Instead of cutting the square as I planned initially, I'm gonna be cutting the strip, which will be quite wide, and that will leave me those 2 small white borders on the bottom and top part of my card. And here you can see how quickly I chop it, and then basically I use up the whole two design papers. I'm just gonna be having like teeny tiny leftovers in the form of those two or three little corners, and this is what's left from the design paper. So I think we did pretty well to use up all these elements. And this is something which I truly like to do when I'm creating. I'm trying to create as less waste as possible, especially on the design papers. There's always, you know, a way to use them up, and this is what I've been trying to do. I'm saving every single bit and then create those little cards, a little like a thank you notes, or some cards which you can always like give to someone, to your neighbor, or never know when there will be some occasion. Now I am popping my Gemini machine, and here you can see me I'm cutting all elements for my cards just in the one go, and I have this big frame for the bigger card, then very thin frame for another card with the circle, and another bigger wider frame for the second card. So that's gonna be more or less my layout for the cards. I will dress them up, and then I've decided I will gonna need something extra to create even more interest. So I will be using some of the embossing folders here. I've got one of my boxes filled with the embossings with my folders, and I'm trying to find the proper design which I like, something which will work well in these cards. So I'm looking, and here I have very old embossing folder from the Spellbinder, which is actually happened to be like double-sided. You can turn them around, and dependingly which side you're gonna be closing, you're gonna end up with different result. And I'm trying to find another one which will fit that very narrow frame. And here is my little helper. He will pop in to my studio. He was popping into my studio like 10 times, so it took me much longer. I think in overall to actually create those four simple cards, it was something around like hour, maybe not even that. I would probably end up being much sooner if my son wouldn't be like coming and playing with my crafty stuff like 10 times. Even though he was playing with his dad, every like 5 minutes he was popping in and say like, oh hi mommy, how are you? But I love him to the moon and back, and I am very happy that he's coming and he's showing some interest in the crafts, because we are crafting together. And once he gets older, I'm trying to you know, teach him some more like different techniques and do different types of crafts. And I'm hoping that one day we would be crafting along. If he will decide to do it, then I'll be happy. But if he will I don't know, maybe like have some different interest, then I'm fine as well. It's just something I thought it's nice to have that family time when we can all do together something. And here you can see there is this white piece of paper I've managed to cut from the blue tone, and as you can see the pattern goes on diagonal orientation. And I wanted to point that because not always you have to put the paper straight. If the design goes like up and down, like you know, vertically or horizontally, it's not always necessarily mean that you have to use it this way. I didn't had enough if I had a slightly bigger paper to cut the square, I would probably do that. But because it wasn't working, I tilt my paper slightly and cut it under this, you know, diagonal side, and it's working fine as well. And here I am trying to find another of the embossing folders, because I want to have something for this triangle card as well, something to fill up this white bottom side as well, so it's gonna give me this nice texture, because I don't want to leave it plain. The card would be too plain, and I always like to have them look they're nicely finished. And here there's a leftover white piece. Again, I am just crafting on my leftovers, trying to use up as much. So basically for this card I've used two pieces of the printed paper, and then one piece of the white cardstock. I'm gonna be end up adding a little bit extra color papers just to cut this little border. Is something I've decided I want to dress up the cards. And here you can see I'm gonna be doing it in two colors. And what I've decided, I wanna be trying to cut them both on the same time, so that will save me some passing through on my machine as well, and speed up the whole process. The Gemini machine is very powerful tool, and I think it would cut even through the 3 layers as well. And here there is this embossing folder, so I'm ready. And now just two quick passing through. And I forgot, and here you can see I'm gonna be switching my sandwich. I'm taking off this brown mat because I'm using the embossing folder. I'm using is actually from We Are Memory Keepers company, and this is one of their this 3D embossing folders. They are a little bit thicker, so you have to remember that to not destroy your machine. Luckily my machine stopped, because whenever machine thinks that the sandwich is too thick, it will stop, it won't let you go through. But you have to keep that in mind if you're using the manual die cutting machine, that you can break it if it goes too hard on you. Don't force it, because maybe as I'm here, you will just have to end up to do a little amends. Take the thicker plate and replace it with the thinner one, or just get rid of one layer like I did here. I end up taking off this brown tan mat, and I was fine. I was good to go. And here again, it's not been like 10 minutes and I'm having another visit. But it's good. It's life. It's mom is crafting, so I kind of enjoy that. And here I'm just chopping this bits a little bit, making sure it will look nice on the card. And I'm already chopping this sides as well, because I know my card is 5 3/4, so I'm leaving myself, I think I was doing it like slightly over 5 inches, so I have this nice thin border all around. And I will glue this first white layers, and then a layer, and then I will glue my design paper layer on top, and they will just mount perfectly. And this is something I like to do, and it will be creating this like a front panel, square front panel. And all I'm just really trying to achieve is to have the same white space border around all four sides, and this will really look nice and neat. And here, as I've mentioned, my helper is coming back again to help mommy, to ask what I'm doing and how I'm feeling. But he normally just stay for like a minute or two, and then he's running back to daddy, which is quite funny because like he will play with his dad, no trouble. But the second I put my camera on, it's like he will have some sort of a sensor, and he's always coming to my studio. Same way works for my husband. He will be, my son will be playing with me, painting or do other things like, play with the building blocks, whatever we're doing. And then the second my husband is turning his guitar on, because my husband is playing guitar, so the second he will start exercising or doing play some music, my son is more keen to just leave whatever he's doing, and then he's running to my husband and says like, "Oh daddy, I'll help you play," which is quite fun. So we're always laughing about that he's got a good sensor to know whenever we're working. And here I have this tag. I really like this one, and it's got this nice sentiment. Says that a friend is someone who knows all about you and still loves you. I think it's such a nice sentiment for a card for a friend, that we know that despite we know everything about each other, like not only good things but bad things, like my husband, for example, he is my best friend. I know him for 21 years, and I know everything, good, bad things, like, yet he still is my best friend. Even though we married, I love him, but he also, beside being my husband, he's also my best friend. And nothing, I feel like at this time, after all this time, there is nothing like we could not share each other. We're always like trying to support our dreams, our goals, and talk a lot about different kind of things like a friends do, not only as a married couple but also as a friends. Here I am adding a little bit of the discord and some little flowers I am picking up, trying to stay onto the elements which I had designed especially for this collection. But as I've mentioned in many previous in these three previous parts, that the elements I am designing, they are for the specific paper. However, you can mix and match them in between, and the papers are designed that way that they could cooperate together beautifully. At least for me, I hope you will enjoying them, and you see that you can mix and match them as well. And you can use those all extra elements to create some more cards and mix and match. Just have fun, play with it. I'm only focusing on this particular papers because I'm making a video about them. Like what I've decided to do is to create this. I've got 8 double-sided papers, so that will be 8 videos. And speaking about that, I've mentioned on previous videos that I am having some additional surprise for you, my friends, and whoever will watch the 8 videos where I'm creating these cards, you will be able to get like 8 passwords, some words, some phrases, which once you gather them all together, they will create a sentence. And on my last video, I will leave you the email address where you can send it. And if you will send me that sentence, I will send you back some email in the reverse, and that will be with the reply, and that will have some additional extras elements for you as well. And here you can see I am looking. I had this third leaf. I was planning to add those little red leaves. I had 3 in the design sheet, but my son was playing and I've lost this little leaf. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't see it anywhere, so I eventually end up not using them. But I think the card looks really nice. It's a very good idea for having this quick card, something to do quickly and create if you need the fast card. And now I will be start working on my second card, but before I'm gonna do that, I realized I wanted to add some couple like a drop accent. I didn't have the Nuvo drops in this color, but I have this very old pearl pen from Viva Decor. So whatever you have, always use up your crafts supplies. Try to look for. I've got myself on this, that I'm buying a lot more supplies than I'm actually using. So I'm trying to be much more smart, and I've noticed this shifting. I think it's from the last year I eventually start buying only the things which I really truly love, and I know they will serve me well. So I am focusing on having this good quality purchases. Sometimes I'm buying like a more expensive sets and things like that, but then I know they will be versatile and they really gonna serve me well. Here I am using this two pieces of the additional card, and I'm just trying to do this like a shadow technique. So I'm gluing one on top of another and then slightly shift them in my finger, making sure I have this lovely like a shadow peeking from underneath. And now going back to this password, which I haven't told you by now, and I have to remember it because in one of the videos, it was actually in a Polish version. I forgot. I literally forgot. I was talking the entire video, and then when I post the video, my friend just made that comment that, "Hey, where is the password?" So here I am, number 4. The words for today is for my so this is the phrase, and you had the 3 from previous videos, and then this is fourth one says for my. So that way, once you gather all 8 of them and send it through me through the email, you will be able to access some additional bonuses. And as I mentioned on the previous video, for this bonus I will try to create a lot more sentences. Obviously this collection is all about friendship, so I'm trying to keep it like a friend zone quotes and like everything which is like involved with friendships, all this type of the words. However, if you're looking on the paper and you've got the idea for some like a wedding card, I don't know, get well soon or whatever, different type of the card, or like for this pink colorful card for the instance, I think it will look well on this like a welcome baby card. Definitely pop in down in the comment, write down what the sentence you have in the mind, and I will gather all your ideas and that will be added to the extras as well. Now here I've decided to cut really teeny tiny strips of the same great color cardstock, just so I could have this nice like a border accented between the design paper and this fancy border which I cut from the Regal Borders die from the Herflet creation. I really like this set, and it's one of those really nice dies which is worth to have, because they will like work on many different styles. And I especially love the dies which are versatile. You've got like a separate outer line cutting, and this one is divided in 2 halves, so that's really gives me a lots of different ways I could use the die. Now I am attaching this paper with the help of the double-sided tape, but I add a drop of the liquid glue just to help me make sure I could manage. I will manage to slightly shift it if I need it, and I'm just trying to choose the right elements, and I'm attaching them with the help of my hot glue, and that's basically makes me the second card. And as you can see, they are very easy, nothing difficult happens here, but I think this is a nice type of the cards you can always keep on hand for some special quick occasion. When you miss your like friend birthday or something, you will need the card, then you can just quickly create something in a matter of minutes. And of course, if you've got a little helper like me, that could take you twice times longer, but it's life. So yeah, I'm finishing off by dressing this card with the Nuvo drops. I'm adding a few drops here and there, and this is this lovely calming aqua color. I really like it. I will leave you a link down below. You can check it. I like this Nuvo accents because back in the past I was using those half pearls. However, by having this Nuvo drops instead of the real pearls, I have the control over the size, so I can various. And in meantime, if I was buying those plastic like a half pearls, I had to have them in a specific size. So to have the 2 or 3, I would have to buy 3 little packets, like 3 millimeters, 5 and 8, or whatever the sizes was. And here I am easily able to create even teeny tiny dots, and just have some variation. Now I am moving on forwards to my third card, and at this point I realized I really have to speed up because it's been taken time, and the cards are quite simple, but well, I've been distracted a few times, so that's another thing. But they really goes quickly once you get the idea and you cut yourself elements like I did at the beginning. I pull my die cutting machine and I cut everything in one passing. Then it goes really quickly. So that's the also great idea to create the set of the cards, because you're using the same collection, same papers, and that's a great idea to create like a set of 4 or 5 cards, which you can pack in a nice box and give it to someone as a present. And so that's also another idea. You can create the simple cards and use them up. And here I am focusing on this pink color extras, because I've created them in 2 different shades. One is like a blues and green color, and the other one is like a pinks and purples. And I could mix and match them in between, but I've decided to create some pinky color card and then some blue color cards from the paper. So here I am just working on my composition, and I think for this one I will actually add 1 or 2 flowers from the previous paper. But once you have those download papers, that's not a trouble. I only needed something to help me fill up the space a little bit, and I'm just using something like a side wreath. That will also look good if you would complete the wreath entirely. If I had more elements, I would probably go with the full wreath, but then I've just concentrate myself on the one side of the card and create that nice composition. And once I will be happy how all my elements are placed, I will add some additional few drops to finish off the card. Now the card has this big circle right in the middle, and what you can do to create this card more personal accent, you can cut a little like a smaller white circle and then glue it in the inside portion and have some sentiment stamp or something. This card could be really used for many occasions, starting from like some engagement, anniversary, some like what birthday, whatever occasion you would like. You just stamp some sentiment on the circle or on a banner and just place it in the inside of this colorful circle, and you really can create this card a personal as much as you want. And here I am just once I glue my element, I am just teeny tiny like lift them in my finger, so I am adding a little extra dimension. And even though I've used a few flowers, I think I've actually used the 3 pink color flowers to fill up the spaces. I would probably do it with the designs from this paper, but I only cut one sheet of the one print from this collection, this paper. So I feel like I wanted to have a little bit extra, so I add 3 other flowers to my composition, and that's it. That really filled the space nicely. And what I also want to tell you, my friends, unfortunately, my voice is sounding a little bit off. I should probably say that at the beginning of the video, but I'm struggling. Well, not really struggling, but I'm having a little bit sore throat. So this is why I also had this little break. Like I was planning to post the videos every second day, but it didn't work out. I couldn't do the voiceover because I was really sounding really off. So I just thought, okay, I'll just wait a day or two until my throat will clear a little bit, and I'll be able to talk smoothly. And one more thing, there's a great idea to finish off the card is to glue 1 or 2 flowers inside Oh, here you can see this idea I had. If you just like stamp something on a circle and you place in the middle, you can basically change the card for any occasion. But what I'm trying to say is that it's also a good idea to finish off the cards by gluing one or two elements inside to the card, just so you have this nice working style from the same outside and inside. I'm not doing that because I'm not sure whether I'll be adding some layering mat into inside of my card as well. And here we're just quickly jumping onto the fourth card, and it's very easy. This one is probably taking like 3 minutes. Once you have the elements cut, it's just like 3 minutes to glue everything together. It's very simple idea. However, I like it very much. I think I like every single one of them. They look so different, but they're very easy. They're fun to create, and not taking as much time. So definitely something, if you want to create the quick cards, it's something I can recommend you to do, like ideas. You don't have to use my papers, of course. It's nice, obviously it's very nice to see your artwork. So if you will create something, please tag me, let me know so I could see it. It's always like a greatest appreciation for any designer. Well, I'm not like a professional designer. I would like to become one day, but it's always like a greatest appreciation for our work, for anything we do, like anything I do or you do. You definitely know that this is the best way to say thank you to someone, is to show, to create something using their product, their design, their ideas. So if my cards, if my creation are inspiring to you and you're using the ideas, you're using the papers, please tag me, so I'll know. And also, if you're using my papers, please let know your friends where do you get them from, and share this video, as this is something which really helps me grow this channel. So I hope you enjoyed today's ideas for this card. Let me know which one is your favorite one, and don't forget to click the like, share the video, please. And thank you so very much for being here. I hope you will enjoy it and come back for another video, 4 more parts to still do. So I hope you're not gonna get tired with all these papers. Thank you once again, and I am wishing you a fabulous day. Stay blessed, my friends, and bye bye.